So when the cow mows and the bird chaps and the dog barks, the dog is not shocked that it can bark. The dog is shocked when it cannot bark. So the original state of that dog is it's expectant. It expects to. So it's not really a miracle. It's expecting to bark because that expectation is its original functionality. Do you understand that? The wiring within it. Without prayer, the dog will bark. Do we agree? So the dog does not pray to bark. Neither does the bird pray to fly. They don't pray to function in that realm. It's a state of their being. The reason I'm saying this is because there is a scripture that we have taken out of context, is that in everything through prayer and supplication, that everything there must be checked. What's everything according to the writer? Because what is natural to me? Now let me ask you a question. Did I pray for these beards? That's not the purpose of prayer. Anything that is your default state should not be taken to prayer, because that's your natural habitation. It's natural for you to function like that. Do you understand? Now look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, in this year, find out what's your nature. What's your nature? What's your nature?
What happens?
You are liars. You said that you could get an iPhone 16 Pro Max for 9.9 Real by downloading Temu, but I didn't get it.
Where did you download Temu?
What's your nature? Prayer is such a superior thing that it should not be deployed in nonsense. What's natural is not what prayer was created for. So you need to find what's natural. And then you need to find what's not natural. That's what you use prayer for, because it's not natural. Now, after being natural, there is something called super. So let me explain. Who has ever seen a movie on YouTube where you saw a dog on a steering and it's driving a car? Because they are there. Have you seen it? Have you ever seen an animal like those military dogs? They are doing weird things. Now, are you getting it? Now, if that dog is left without training, the natural thing that dog should do is to bark. So if that dog is left, it will only do what's natural. Are you hearing me? In its state, it should bark. So barking doesn't require prayer. Now, there are things in your life you should meet that don't necessarily require that interference, that realm called prayer. They don't really require it. They dwell in your senses, the gift that God gave you, which is called the sense. They dwell there. You can be able to pick good from some sense. Do you understand? That's why you don't need to be born again to give to charity. There is an aspect of your sense that tells you helping is good. Do you understand? That's the natural state. But you will notice the same dog, there is a training it can receive. It will begin to add something called super. So it's still natural. The natural, it's happening in the natural state, but it's happening in a supernatural. It's superior to the natural. That's what you call supernatural. Now, this year, you need to find out what's natural. And then the second thing you need to find out is what's super. So that now, that dog that you see jumping in places, it's squatting, you say, sit, stand. That thing the dog is doing, it's super. Super means what requires a new teaching to become. It requires teaching to become. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, I went somewhere and I remember I was sitting eating and a blind man came. He was blind. But when food came, he finished the food before me. Okay, you can laugh a little bit. And then, you're not getting it. Are you getting it? He finished the food before me because I realized something. It's natural to know where your mouth is located. Doesn't need any teaching. But okay, for you to know how the blind man felt, close your eyes. Locate your mouth. Close your eyes. Locate your mouth. Use your hand. If I say something, touch it. Locate your mouth. Locate your ears. Now, the question I want to ask you, do you need to see to know that that's your neck? So there are things in this life, they are not a function of depth of sight. It's a nature, it's your natural state. You can locate them in your natural state. Now, in life, there are things you can locate in your natural state, meaning you can go to school, get education, get a degree. Then with that degree, you can locate aspects of things. Some dimensions of things, you can locate them by a degree. You're not listening? Some things you can locate them by money. It means you can just take money, you can bribe that person and get the deal. You can locate them by that way. But then there is a time that comes in your life. You will meet a scripture that says, you can buy, but your currency cannot. Come and buy of me, but without money. Now that means that type of transaction there, you are not getting it. That type of transaction there is not natural, because the natural state is money. But this person is telling you there is a way we buy, and it does not require. Now, in order for you to function in that realm, that's what you call super. It's another interference. Now, a man is twofold. A man is natural, and a man is super. Now, you can live all your life and achieve only natural. What I'm here to tell you tonight is the type of life that will affect natural and behave super. That's the word alienated. For example, love is not natural. That's why there are people here, they are here and they are the way they are shouting when the minister of the gospel is singing. But they hate people. What's natural is hate. What's super is love. You are not getting it. What's natural is fear. What's super is faith. What's natural is poverty. What's super is wealth. Now you are going to decide this morning where you will function from. This is why Jesus tells John in the book of Revelation, come up, come, enter into the super space. When you come to that level, it's called you have come to Mount Zion. There is prophecy over me. You won't understand. I cannot give up now. Now, even in the natural, if the natural tells you there is every reason to give up, you go beyond natural and you see your same life from super. You have an aerial view. There is prophecy over me. Because of that prophecy is the super. I cannot give up now. I cannot fail this one. I must fulfill mine. So that course cannot just happen naturally. So those of you that only went to campus and you got a degree, what you have done is that you have fulfilled one aspect, which is the natural aspect. You might fly to some level. A time will come in your life, you will need to know there must be an interference of a spirit. Then you will know your books can take you this far. Your knowledge can take you this far. Your songs can take you this far. Your life can take you this far. Connections can take you this far. But there is a place if you're going to operate from, you must come to that super space. Few men get there. Now let me explain to you. The natural food you eat, in a few minutes, some of you is even seconds, you'll be hungry again. Are you understanding? Why are you not getting it? That if you eat once, you can travel to a place called Horeb.